calling for the UFO Reporting Center in Seattle, Washington.
Yes.
And we've been advised that you were in a party that's spotted an unidentified flying object the night of the 25th.
That's correct.
I wonder if we could get a description of exactly what you saw.
Well, at first I thought it was just a great big plane. But it stopped and hovered right over our car. We were on our way to town. I saw a triangular-shaped vehicle.
Uh-huh.
It looked like it was a double-decker, if that's possible. And the middle part had two great, huge lights, like, I don't know, just great big round lights.
Were those white lights?
Yes.
Okay.
And then underneath, it looked like there were a lot of multicolored lights. I saw mostly red. My daughter said she saw green. I didn't.
Okay.
But I saw mostly red and white. And I was driving, so I didn't get to observe as much as my passengers.
Okay.
But that's essentially what I saw.
Now, you say that the object hovered over the car?
It stopped, yeah. I said we had commented on it because I've observed these bright lights for about a month or so now and never been close to it. And we've been watching it from quite a distance away, and I said, oh, it's just a plane. And then it started to move like it was coming down for a landing, and it stopped. It hovered over the car enough for us to look at it close. And then we got nervous and took off.
You stopped the car?
We were at almost a standstill, yes.
Okay, what road were you driving on?
We're on the Wilbur Highway.
Okay. Now, did you see the object as it approached you?
Well, we were both moving, and so it didn't really, it was just like a meeting, like it was, like we intersected. It wasn't like it approached us, but just that we happened to be there the same time it did.
Oh, I see. Okay. Did the object actually move across the roadway?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Do you have any idea of just how close that object came to you?
I'm guessing, and I'm not a real good judge of distance, but I would say the length of a football field or 2 lengths of a football field. I'd say 200 yards maximum.
Okay.
And there was no sound. We rolled down the window. All we could hear was the motor of our car.
Do you have any estimate of altitude at its lowest point?
I would say that was its lowest point.
Okay.
Would be 200 yards or so.
How about size?
It was big. It's hard to say because there was nothing to judge it by, but I would say as big or bigger than a 747. It was wider across. It was probably as long as a 747, but it was wider across.
I see. Okay. Now these, of course, you were driving.
Right.
Did you have any chance to see what position those colored lights were in on the bottom of it?
They just seemed to be all over the bottom.
Just scattered?
Yeah. There was no real pattern, and as I say, I didn't get to look at it as much as the two gals that were with me because I was driving.
Okay. About how long did you watch that?
Well, I'd say a good when it hovered over us, or just how long total time we watched it?
Total time.
15 or 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Because we watched it, we spotted it. I live in the country, and we were on our way to town, and we spotted it 6 miles from my home, so we watched it for 11 miles.
Okay. Now, did the object move away from you, or did you move away from it?
Well, it's just like the meeting thing. It was kind of both of us moving at once. We were on it intersected us going east and west, and we were going north and south.
Okay. And did you watch it until it moved out of sight?
Until our view was blocked.
I see, okay.
We watched it clear into Odessa, and then we parked in front of a building that obstructed our view.
All right.
And I have checked with a couple more people around town, and there have been a couple of other people that saw the object in the sky but just thought it was a funny-looking plane or something. And the times coincide and everything.
Now, you say you've been watching these for how long?
I've seen the lights off and on for a month or so, but, never didn't really put anything to it because they fly a lot of planes out of Moses Lake that fly with their landing lights on, and so I just assumed that that's what it was.
I see. Okay.
And it could very well have been. know, it could have been a plane with landing lights on that I saw. But this definitely, the object we saw the 25th, wasn't anything I've ever seen before anyway.
Okay. Have you had any experiences or strange things happen to you since that sighting?
No.
Okay.
Except that people look at me kind of funny.
No dreams about it?
I'd say my daughter was probably more apprehensive than I. No, I haven't had any dreams about it.
Okay. You were driving at night. Did you have any problems with the car or the lights at the time that it was close by?
Gee, no.
Were you playing your radio?
No, we turned the radio down when we saw it because we were talking.
Okay. And about what time did that sighting take place?
Between 7 and 7:30. I just can't pinpoint a time because I didn't think to look at my watch.
All right. And what was the name of that highway you were on again?
It's the Wilbur-Odessa Highway.
And you were driving from south to north or north to south?
We were driving north to south.
North to south, okay. If we send you a form, could we get a drawing of the object that you saw?
Oh, as best I can, yeah.
Okay, fine.
It's, one other thing I should tell you probably is that in thinking back on it, there was like small windows in the back, like an observation thing. That's the only thing on the back of the vehicle.
Uh-huh. Were those lighted windows?
No, they were dark. They were dark. They were like shapes. But I asked if she saw that too, and she said, yeah. That she thought that they looked like unlit windows or something.
Now, what color did this object have? Was there any color involved?
I couldn't see any color. As I say, I didn't get to watch it that much because I was driving.
Okay, but you could see the outline of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the object, was it just dark?
Yeah. Mostly we just could see the lights. You know, there were so many of them.
Uh-huh.
But we got I got a definite impression of being a triangular shape.
Okay. Did you have the feeling that you were being watched when this thing stopped over the car?
It was spooky.
Uh-huh. Did it frighten any of you?
My daughter more than me. I wanted to stop and get out and look at it close, you know. But she's only 14. I didn't see any sense in really putting the fear into her, so
right.
we continued on our merry way. And we watched for it on the way home, which was 2 hours later, but we didn't see anything.
Okay. Well, we sure appreciate your talking to us, and if we need additional information, could we get back to you?
You bet.
Okay,
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Has there been other reports of sightings in this area?
Well, we haven't had too many recently, no. But then that doesn't mean things aren't being seen.
Yeah, oh yeah, I realize that.
Because we have a problem of getting the people to report what they see.
Yeah, well, in checking with my friends in town, there were several that saw those crazy lights too and just thought, well, it's a plane.
Right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm calling for the UFO Reporting Center in Seattle.
Oh, uh-huh.
And we understand you had a UFO experience on the 25th of this month.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could get a full description of just exactly what happened to you, what you saw.
Okay, I was driving into town. I live about 21 miles out of town.
Uh-huh.
And I was driving into town with my neighbor and her daughter. And clear back at her house, which would have been about 16 miles from town, we noticed this real bright light off in the sky and didn't think much of it at first. And then as we got closer to town, we were about 5 miles from town, the light started moving. And it was real bright, and then it would just get very dim so that you could almost not see it at all. And then it got brighter again, and it kept doing this. And it was circling in this area. And we watched it for a while because we didn't know what it was. And then it started getting real low, and too low for an airplane. That's what kind of scared us. At first we thought it was an airplane of some kind. And so we turned off the motor and rolled the window down to see if we could hear any noise, to see if it was a plane or a helicopter or something. and there was no noise at all, and it just kept getting lower and closer to our car. And by this time, we noticed there were two very bright lights opposite each other, and then in between there were three red lights in particular that we noticed. And they weren't real large. They were like you would see on an airplane, that size. And so we sat there and watched it get lower, and then it just stopped above our car.
Now, was your car stopped at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
And we approximated the distance when it stopped at about 100 yards, or the length of a football field, approximately. It was dark out, so it was kind of hard to tell, but it was low. It was very low, and we could see the form of it because of the reflection of their lights.
The lights on the craft were reflecting off of it?
Well, because of those lights, we could see the form of the object. And it was a triangular-looking thing, and it was like there were two triangles, one on top of the other with a connection in between, a thick connection. And it seemed to us that the lights were coming out of this connection. And the three red lights, now, the two big lights remained constant, but the three red lights would blink for a while, and then they quit blinking and they were just red for 15 seconds. And then they all three turned white, and then they started blinking red again.
Now, were those changes in those lights related to the behavior of the object itself in any way?
I don't know. It just stayed there. It just hovered over the car. It didn't move at all.
Well, the lights were doing all these changes while it was still stationary then.
Right.
Okay.
And then we took off. we left because we got kind of nervous about it. But then I watched it out the back window all the way into town, and after we left, it started circling again, and it just circled in that same area until we couldn't see it anymore. Well, we were in amongst buildings and things, so. But our big mistake was we didn't report it right away. I waited till I got home later that evening and called the Lincoln County Sheriff. We should have reported it right away, and possibly somebody could have gone out there and, gotten some pictures or something.
Right.
But that's about all I can tell you. It was, we really checked it out because we were very curious about it, of course, and we wanted to make sure it wasn't an airplane or a helicopter or something that we recognized. But it was real different.
Okay, now, what was the highway that you were driving on?
It was on the Odessa-Wilbur Highway.
That would be Highway 21 then.
Yes.
And you were driving from what town?
Well, I live midway between Harrington and Odessa on the Coffee Pot Lake Road.
Okay, then you were driving towards Odessa?
Toward Odessa, yes.
Okay.
And
now, when driving south like that, headed for Odessa, which direction did the object appear at first?
It was west of us.
Okay, that would be to your right then.
To our right.
Okay.
When we first spotted it.
Now, when the object was directly over you, who stopped first, you or the object?
We did. We had stopped to see if we could tell what it was, because it was far enough away when we stopped that we didn't know what it was.
I see.
And so we rolled down the window and we were trying to figure out what it was, because it was so low and it was just,
Then did the object come directly towards you?
Yes. It was almost as if it turned around, because this bright light got very dim, and then as if it was turning around, these lights came toward us very brightly and started getting lower, like a plane would if it was going to land.
Right.
Just gradually got lower. And that's when we really started wondering. So we stayed there just to kind of check it out. And then it just came over the car. It wasn't directly over the car. It was to the side, to the left of us, just enough so that we could see it out the side window. But it just stayed there until we left before it did any moving.
Did the object itself have any color?
Well, that's hard to say because it was so dark, but I would say no. I would say it was along a silver or gray color, as far as I could tell. The only color I saw were the red lights.
Okay.
And I would guess it was probably a silver color.
Now, you felt that it was about the length of a football field from you?
From the car, yeah.
And how about the altitude from the ground?
From the ground. Well, then... Gee, I don't know, not much more than that, because we were level. We were on a flat. We weren't up on a hill or anything. It was right on a flat wheat field. So just the length of the car, the height of the car, which might be about 5.5 or 6 feet. I'm not sure.
That close to the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
The car is, yeah.
Wow.
So the football length and then whatever the height of our car would be.
Okay.
Away from the ground.
Did those lights illuminate the ground at all?
Gee, I don't know. It wasn't. They weren't like a spotlight pointing down to the ground. No, they went out more to the side than down to the ground.
Okay. Did you have any particular strange feelings when that object was sitting out there so close to you?
I was real nervous, but other than that, no, I didn't have anything strange come over me or, anything like that, except that when it finally dawned on me what I might be looking at, it kind of, it made us nervous, so we got out of there.
Did you have the feeling you were being watched?
Well, sort of, yeah, because this thing had just stopped, and of course we were looking out the window at it, and I suppose you could say that, yeah, because,
Okay, had you believed?
Pardon me?
Had you believed in these objects before?
Yeah, I have always believed in them, but it's so different when you finally are looking at one.
Right.
I've never disbelieved that there is a possibility of that, but
Did you hear any noise?
none at all. We turned off the motor and listened purposely for noise, but there was just none. Not even a whir like a beater or something,
Right.
Not even a mild noise.
Okay, do you have any estimate on the size of that thing?
It was large. I was trying to think of that the other day, what I thought the size. I would say probably as big as a 747.
Okay. Now, while you were sitting there watching, or any time while observing that object, did you see any additional traffic on the highway?
Yes. There was a car, after we took off, a couple minutes after we did, there was a car behind us. And we watched it all the way into town to make sure that it was still there,
Right.
following us.
How long do you feel you watched that object?
You mean while we were stopped?
Right.
Probably not much longer than a minute.
Okay. And no cars while you were watching it?
No,
Is that a fairly busy highway?
Well, I would say so for being clear out in nowhere, yeah.
Would you find the lack of traffic unusual during that period?
Well, no. By busy, I don't mean that it's, real bustling all the time, but there are cars going on it,
Okay.
But no, I wouldn't say that lack of traffic would be unusual for that road right then. There were quite a few people in Odessa that saw that same night. This neighbor that drove in with me had talked to some people in town that had farms in that area that had spotted it. But nobody got pictures or anything,
Okay.
But they all, were wondering what it was, too. And I have noticed that same real bright light the night before, Wednesday night, I was coming back from Spokane, and I noticed it.
Would that be about the same area?
Yeah, it was in the same direction, yeah.
Are there any special surface features in that area that you know of? Natural or man-made?
Gee, you mean like
any dams up there, hydroelectric plants?
No.
Super substations?
No, let's see, there aren't any big things like that there. The only thing they're doing there right now is drilling a well. But, it's just farmland.
What type of well? Water well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think that, is there anything else you want to add to that?
Well, I don't think so. We tried to, really think this out after we saw it and make sure that what we saw we agreed on and things like that. So, we just talked it over to make sure we knew what we were saying. So, but we're all pretty sure of what we saw, and we did sit there and watch it for, like I say, probably a little over a minute.
Okay.
So.
Okay, we appreciate your talking to us.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We understand you're having a little problem with some beeping sound out your way.
That's true.
I wonder if you'd give us a description of just what's happening.
Well, it's just a continually beeping out in the woods out there. And me and a friend walked out, well, Sunday night, myself and my wife and my oldest boy and his wife and a couple other young people and two sheriffs walked out there, and we pinpointed this thing to a tree. And then it stopped. And then the next time we heard it was probably 200-300 yards away from us again.
I see.
That was last Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And then last night, a friend of mine and myself, we went out there, and you might say the same thing happened to us again, basically.
Okay, this beeping, is it a continuous thing?
It's, yes, it's just a rhythmic, continuous beeping, yes.
Okay. Any animals in the area, such as pets?
Pets?
Yeah, were there any pets or dogs with you at the time this was going on?
No dogs or anything out there with us. No.
I see, okay.
There's a lot of dogs in the neighborhood, though.
Can this be heard over quite an area?
Yeah, I could say that, when we heard it, we was probably, a good 2 blocks from it. 2 city blocks,
Yes. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we would like to do. If that shows up again tonight, could you give us a call?
Uh-huh.
We have representatives out in the Auburn area, and we'd like to get somebody down there and get this thing on tape, see if we can't find out what it is.
That's what I was wishing I'd had, a portable tape recorder so I could have taped this thing last night,
Uh-huh. Does this appear to be something that would be metallic or transmitted type signal?
To me, it sounds more of a mechanical type beep than anything I can, pinpoint it to.
Yes.
The Sunday night when we was out there, well, the two sheriffs says, well, it's probably a wounded seagull, But, I don't know. I don't know how it could be a wounded seagull.
Yeah. Well, we've had a lot of this in the past, and, of course, the quick explanation for some people is that it's a certain breed of owl, white owl, kind of a mating signal, but a lot of these cases have been to such a degree that there's no way it could have been an owl, so...
Well, now, like Sunday night, the first time my son heard it was about 7 o'clock in the evening,
Yes.
And when we finally done everything we was going to do and everything, and the sheriff department got out here, and we got out there and located this thing, it was a 4-hour period.
Uh-huh.
And this thing continually beeped for 4 solid hours.
Staying in the same place?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, if it happens again tonight, would you give us a call?
I sure will.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Bye.
There's some flashings and some beeping noise. And it's been happening in the past few nights. And nobody will do anything about it.
Well, when did it start tonight?
Well, it starts about 8 o'clock at night. And it quits during the day.
During the daytime, too?
No, it quits during the day.
Oh, I see.
And it's a mechanical sound. It's definitely not no animal. And there's flashes to go with it.
What color are the flashes?
Sort of white, you know, like you take a picture during the night, you know, flash bulb?
Yes.
It's flashes just like that. And then a while ago, down by the lake, we seen a glow, and that's where all the beeping noise is coming from right now.
Down by the where?
Down by this little lake, back property here.
Well, there isn't anything we can do about it tonight, but probably tomorrow we'll have an investigator call you. But there isn't really anything we can do about it this late.
Okay, well, just a while ago, there was a reporter from Federal News that went back to with us.
Yes.
And he was taking pictures with infrared film, you know.
Yes.
See if he could spot anything.
Yes, well, we've had a couple of reports on this this evening.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for calling. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, well, anyway, the police and nobody will do anything about it. They've been up several times, you know, they won't go down in the woods to investigate. So it's got everybody in the neighborhood pretty shook up right now.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
The Kirkland police operator referred me to your number.
Yes.
Said you had some sort of a bulletin. And my little girls were out. I'm an I flew Navy, torpedo bomber, and I'm sure my vision is not that bad. But did you get any calls about these things that are circling over the Kirkland Lake Washington area?
Yes, we're flooded with calls.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not the only one that's kooky then.
No.
Yeah, well, we saw a bunch of them. They were, they say, studying stars, and we're up in the north end of Lake Washington. And to the south and east of us, these, it must have been a half a dozen sort of red objects, which seem to be mingling into the air traffic that normally comes across. You can spot the military and the commercial.
Yes.
And these things are sort of flying together in a sort of a semicircular, sort of counterclockwise area. Have you had other reports on this tonight?
Yes, there are reports coming from all over northeast Seattle, and then towards the north of Lake Washington also.
Yeah, well, I don't know what I was seeing, because they didn't behave, and then there were some sort of bluish-white objects that seemed to be going up and down like a helicopter might. But even with binoculars, you know, can't really determine what's going on. But these red objects were going around in a, they say counterclockwise. I should have said clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. From the north end of the lake, south, and then around back behind some trees that I couldn't see, and then they seemed to disappear and then reappear.
I see.
And the bluish-white objects were going up and down, and the girls thought they were stars falling or something. But they weren't, because a shooting star doesn't come down and then go back up normally.
Right. Never.
So I didn't know. And I don't make rank calls. I say I'm an ex-naval veteran, and never say anything quite like it. I didn't know if there was some going. I'd say 8:15 to 8:30.
Okay.
Someplace in there.
Now, the red ones, did you ever get count on those?
I got a count of about, well, as I say, I had to look through trees, and there was at least 4 to 6. I could always see 4, but when I got behind the trees, I'd sort of lose count. Whether there was a couple others or not, I don't know. But they were just, they weren't flashing or doing a darn thing, but they just showed a red signal, and they seemed to be in sort of a loose formation, like, maybe 3 leaders and one on the tail or something, and they were sparsed apart. Oh, gosh, I can't tell what the distance was. But if it were a naval formation of planes coming in to land on a carrier, I'd judge them to be about 100 yards apart. But I don't know how far I was looking out.
Right. Were they in any fixed formation?
3 seemed to be, with 1 low, and then when they'd emerged on the other side, as I say, I'd lose them in the trees.
Right.
But there were at least 4, and maybe more. I don't know. Okay. But then over to the south and west of us, almost due south, actually, a little bit to the west. There were a couple of funny things going on up and down, and there seemed to be quite a bit of both commercial, private, and military aircraft in the area at the same time.
Uh-huh.
And I was sort of losing track of what was going on where, but I couldn't figure out what these. You can track a commercial plane by its signal and a private and a military, but so I don't know. I was just wondering if well, I wasn't having hallucinations because my 10 and 6-year-old daughters saw, and my wife all saw the same thing.
Did you have any estimate on the size of those red lights?
No, just
okay.
lights.
Just plain red lights, okay.
Yeah. No, even with binoculars, we couldn't get any configuration whatsoever.
Were they operating at fairly high altitude?
No, they were dipping up and down, which thing that caught my curiosity because they'd go any place to 45 degrees above the horizon, down almost to the horizon, and dip back up again.
Uh-huh, okay.
And then I'd lose sight of them, and they'd sort of disappear around to the north. Well, I'm in Juanita, and I've got a lot of trees around my house. And I'd catch sight of them again. They seem to be climbing to the north and east. Okay. And then they'd dip down below the horizon of the lights where I couldn't see them. And then they'd suddenly reappear back over to the southwest.
Okay. In your opinion, would these be something out of the ordinary from conventional aircraft?
Oh, yeah, very definitely. There's definitely something out of the ordinary. I wouldn't have made this stupid call. I feel like a fool talking about. I know you people probably take this seriously.
Very much so.
But I never really have, and I've never seen anything that would cause me to place a call like this.
Well, we've been flooded with calls tonight from throughout this area, and even some stuff from out of state.
Oh, is that right?
Right.
I had a couple beers, but I haven't had that many. But these things were doing some dipsy doodles that, as I say, I flew Navy in World War II, and I can't quite figure out what they were doing or what they were, but they certainly weren't like anything I've ever seen. That solid red light I couldn't figure out because I don't know of anything in the air that's permitted to fly that way. Unless there's some new deal about helicopters or something.
Okay, you say your 2 daughters saw this too?
Oh, yeah, 2 daughters and a wife. They first picked it up with binoculars when they were studying their stars for their astronomy course or something. And they watched them quite a while before they called me and asked me to come out and tell them what they were looking at. And boy, I couldn't make heads or tails of it. It was not a normal, well, any military or commercial pattern that I know of. But of course, I'm not that smart, so I really don't know.
Okay. Well, appreciate this call, and if we get any answers as to what's being seen around here tonight, we'll get back to you and let you know.
Yeah. If you have any further interest, if I make further sightings, you call them?
Oh, definitely.
You'd like to have me call you back?
Oh, definitely. Very definitely.
Okay.
This is 24-hour answering here.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've never seen anything abnormal in the sky before, but this certainly wasn't normal.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get the solid red thing going around, and or the series of those things, and I didn't get that up and down. It looked like almost like a sparkler,
Yes.
The thing you have at 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
And it sparkled quite brightly. But it was going up and down and sideways, and I couldn't figure out what in the world that was. I thought originally when I went out that it was just a falling star that was going down or something. When it went back up, I figured, well, that doesn't make much sense.
How about the speed of those red lights?
I'd say, they say my perspective wasn't that great because I didn't have any idea of distance.
Yes.
But I'd say that they covered 180 degrees in probably a minute.
Uh-huh.
Or no, not that much. No. Let me think. Yeah, that's about right. It'd be a few minutes.
Okay.
That they would cover maybe from dead south to northeast, and they were going northeasterly.
Uh-huh.
Now I don't think we had them several times. I mean, it wasn't just one thing.
Right.
And they, I think we saw them, I don't know how many times the girls saw them. I saw them about 4 times, and I think they were envisioned from, my guess would be someplace in the middle of Lake Washington to Woodinville in sight for about 2 minutes. That's about 180 degrees, I think.
Okay. Now this would be, most of this was taking place, and I presume, in the western sky. You were looking to the west, southwest?
No, I was looking to the east.
To the east?
I'm looking to the east. I'm looking
Okay.
south and east.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they could be any place from the mountains to right overhead, because like I say, they were just red blocks, and with binoculars I couldn't pick out any kind of identification of aircraft.
Okay.
Because I could see aircraft coming in. They come over sometime towards SeaTac, depending on the wind conditions, and you can see the commercials coming in. And when I was out watching all this nonsense, I saw some military aircraft too. But I couldn't pick out anything except lights.
Yes.
On these things and that's what made it sort of interesting, because you could identify. I could identify. My God, after flying 4 years in the Navy, I could identify most things and what they're doing, day or night. But these are something that I've never encountered before. I just don't know exactly what's going on, but I thought perhaps it might be some sort of a military maneuver, and the helicopters were coated with different colored lights or something, but I couldn't hear any helicopter sounds.
Yes.
That's one thing that threw me off. And the engine noises I heard, I could identify when commercial jets were coming in. But these things, I don't know, when the normal jet noise died down, there wasn't any sound. And distance, I couldn't even make a guess at distance.
Yes, okay.
So, I don't know, I'm probably talking a lot of nonsense.
Oh, not at all. not at all. Well, we sure appreciate the call, and if you see anything in the future, why, please let us know.
Okay, I'll have my girls go out and sit and look for some more.
Okay.
If they see any, I'll give you a call back. What's your name?
Bob Gribble, Gribble.
Bob Gribble. Yeah, is that a full-time job, Bob?
No.
Yeah, it's just, what do you folks do? Just record this stuff and,
Yeah, we investigate all the cases and get all the data and get it into our data bank and look for patterns, concentrations of activity, and so forth.
I'll be darned. Well, that's very interesting. If I hear anything or see anything more, I won't feel like such a damn fool when I call you back.
Okay.
Okay, Bob. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Surely. Goodbye.
Bye.
I am Secretary of the Southern Idaho Astronomical Association, and we have a formidable group here. A dozen telescopes or better.
Yes.
Ranging from 4 to 8 inches. And I heard about your particular group and so on and so forth, and if possible, we'd like to help or assist in any way that we can. Now, if you have any sightings that perhaps we could, investigate or check out or whatever, we'd be happy to do so. We have, a network, and we can phone everybody up and get some telescopes trained on it and so on and so forth. If that would help you in any way, or seems like it would assist you or whatever. Now, we've last summer, I don't know whether you know about it or not, but we had a rash of UFO sightings.
Yes.
And we checked them out, and they were what we thought they were. The planets were in close proximity and so on and so forth. But we, at that time, decided it would be advantageous to set up, some type of network where we could get some observations done on these reports, because most people in the area know us, and the news media and so on and so forth. And so they would phone us and say, what do you know about it? So we decided, well, since we're supposed to know things about that, maybe we better set something up.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, our director is quite interested in such phenomena. And so he decided that would be a good thing to do and whatever. So I figured I would phone you and see what we could do or whatever.
Okay, well, we'll get in contact with him.
Okay, any sightings or something, you got something headed our way or something in our area, she can get to us. There are several telescopes which are out, at all times. Just a matter of walking out, uncovering it, and looking. Others would take a while to get set up. Now, our membership ranges from Shoshone, Idaho, to Rupert, beyond Rupert, actually. And like I say, we have several dozen members dispersed about the area. As you can well imagine, it's not a popular pastime and hobby, but weird people like ourselves tend to congregate together or whatever.
Right.
But we have a monthly meeting, the first Saturday of each month. If anyone that you know of would be interested in attending some of our meetings or whatever, that would be fine. See what we're doing and so on and so forth.
Okay. Well, we'll be getting in contact then.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Would you like to describe what you saw?
Yes. First of all, start out right in with the top of the trees.
Uh-huh.
And it was quite a distance off, but it was just this great big brilliant yellow light. Just a brilliant yellow-orange light. Not just a bright yellow, but like a yellow-orange.
Yes.
And it just kept getting brighter and brighter, and when it got brighter, it looked like it got a lot bigger, and it really hurt your eyes. And I kept thinking, gee, maybe it's a transformer on top of a pole or something caught on fire. But then it wasn't that, because it just got real funny,
Yes.
And then it moved up, and it looked to me at one time like it moved over. And then it would get real tiny, real small, and then all of a sudden it would just turn this funny shade of red and stay that way a few minutes, and then just turn this real brilliant yellow-orange. And then just get great big. And then it started moving in toward town. And it went up a little bit higher and a little bit higher. Then it went almost out like a star and just sat there. As it moved up higher, it sat there a little bit. And then it just got like a star. You'd think it was like a real brilliant evening star. And then all of a sudden, it moved up a little bit higher and just came this great big brilliant light again. And then it started moving in toward town. And then it came right over the back, and we were on our patio,
And it came right back over the top of the roof. You know, it was up in the sky,
yes.
and it got so far and it stopped. And then it waited a few minutes, and it was still this great big brilliant color, and then there was no noise. And then it started heading out east again, and it started moving really fast then. Not so fast that it was gone, you know,
right.
but moving fast, sort of southeast.
Okay, now, while you were observing the object, could you see anything other than just the light?
When we couldn't until it got over and going past us, and then it was still this great big brilliant light, and I kept looking for a shape, you know,
yes.
of something, and you couldn't detect anybody because it's dark, and you couldn't detect a body of
yes.
it, but there were some other lights on it.
Okay, what color were those?
The other light was so brilliant you couldn't make out, you know, like a red or green or a blue or anything. It looked to me like it was the same, about three other little lights on it, the same color. There was no red or green on it.
Okay. But that light itself, in all the time that you were watching it, the light itself never took on any particular shape?
It was distorted off and on when it was over the tree, and as it moved up, it was funny. But it wasn't, you know, I couldn't tell whether it was because it was so bright. You know how when you look at a light that's real bright at a distance, you can see, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a funny thing. You can't even explain it.
Okay.
But it didn't take an oval shape, you know,
right.
or any definite shape. It was just a glowing.
Okay, and was this object hovering more or less at treetop level?
It was at treetop level for me. You know, like when we're looking at our backyard,
yes.
and we're looking out, sort of north. Well, not really northwest. It's west. Period. Just west.
Uh-huh.
And when you look out west, it was down low, like treetop level, because I was looking at it from a distance, see.
Right.
And then as it moved up, you know, then it got up away from the trees.
Right.
And then started moving in toward town.
Okay, do you have any estimate of how far away it was from you?
Let's see. Like, we live in Oakdale, and if I was estimating, it would be maybe clear over, maybe 16 or 17, I don't know how to figure feet, you know,
uh-huh.
but like 16 or 17 miles is what it would seem like to me from where we were, if that far. It moved into town awful fast, so it may not have been that far out. It might have only been maybe 5 or 6 miles from me.
Right, okay.
But, you know, length in sky is funny, you know, like a jet can be in Modesto and we can see it in Oakdale. But, so I don't really think it would be 16 or 17 miles because it moved in here awful fast. I mean, it was just right out over the tree and moved in. So maybe I am wrong there on that.
Well,
I was being corrected by the other person that saw it with me.
Mm-hmm.
And she says it seemed to her like it was just out by the river, you know.
Okay. And did you hear any sound at all during this whole...
There was nothing. There was not even a sound. I thought, well, maybe it was an airplane. We were trying to think of all these things, you know, but there was nothing. And there was no shape as an airplane. There was no body behind it, like a tail.
Yes.
There was nothing. It looked to me like when it got over us, you know, it looked to me like it would have to be round because there was nothing behind it.
Okay, did it go directly over you?
Not where I could look right up at the belly of it.
Uh-huh.
Like when you just bring your arm up from your waist and bring it up almost at a 90-degree angle.
Uh-huh.
And that's where it was over me.
Okay, did it, during that period, did it pause or slow down at all?
It did. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's when I said, oh, there's no way an airplane can do that.
Uh-huh.
You know, and you can hear an airplane.
Right.
And you can hear a jet, you can hear a helicopter, anything like that. You can hear it.
Did you notice any interference with lighting in the area at the time?
No.
Okay.
Because we had our patio light on,
uh-huh.
and everything was fine.
Okay. Were there any pets in the neighborhood making any out-of-the-way noises?
My dog was barking.
Okay.
It didn't start barking till it got over our yard. Oh, well, not right over our yard, but, you know, over us.
Yes.
And then my dog started barking, and he ran in the house.
Okay. Did you and the other party experience any out-of-the-ordinary physical sensations at the time?
No.
Okay.
It's just excitement.
Right.
But nothing at all other than that.
Okay. And there were 2 witnesses, just you and another party?
Me and my mother, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of wish my husband had been home, but he isn't home from work yet.
And no one took any pictures?
No.
Okay. About what time did you first spot that?
At 12:30, must have been right around 12:30, because I watched, I kept saying, "Gee, look at that funny light. Isn't that weird?" You know, and I said, "You watch that for a few minutes." And you know what's funny is I've seen a light, something like that, before in that same area, but nothing, and I've watched it out my bedroom window maybe for about 20 minutes, and it changed all these different shapes, but never move in. It would go out. I mean, it would go out, completely out.
Is there anything over, any special surface feature in that area? Any man-made, any dams or electric power stations? Or
there is a electric power station on River Road, and that would be following it right down the river.
Uh-huh.
And now let's see, I have to stop and think. It would be sort of in that same area, really, because it's clear out. It's on River Road, and you go clear out, and like I'm 2 blocks, maybe 4 blocks in from the river.
Yes.
And it is down the river, PG&E substation.
Okay.
And it's the Maloney's substation, it's called. But we have a Maloney's dam being built clear up in the, clear on up.
Yes.
But it wasn't up over there.
Okay.
It was down the mouth of the river, clear down. And there is a substation in there.
Okay.
Now, that's a funny thing, because I was trying to locate it along River Road, along the river, whenever I was telling you where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no sense of miles, or anything like that as far as feet goes or yards or anything. I have no sense whatsoever. I could tell where it is, and he moved it awful fast, so he couldn't have been out as far as I said at first. There's just no way he could have been out that far.
Uh-huh. Well, visual estimates are very difficult anyway.
Yeah. Right.
Well, would you consider filling in one of our questionnaires if I sent it to you?
Oh, yeah. I'm one of those that just can't believe this. I believe in them. I'm about the only one in my area here that does, and when I called in, I told the girl, I says, you're just not going to believe this. I says, I can't even tell you what it is. And she didn't even know how to. I called the police department, and I know her because I work in the justice court. And I says, you're just not going to believe this, Pam. And she says, well, tell me. And then they ran out. Well, then the officer on duty, he says, oh, well, tell her it's just an airplane. We saw it move out over town, because I told him it was coming into our town. It was on the outskirts of town. Like, they would have to look south to see it.
Right.
And but it was no airplane. I know, because there was no noise in our backyard except for my dog. And they don't have that brilliant light. Even their headlight is white. On an airplane, their headlight is white.
Right.
And there'd be no reason why he'd have to hover, and there'd be no way he could hover in an airplane, except a helicopter, and a helicopter. A helicopter has a sound. You're going to hear it.
Right.
I don't care how high you hear a purr. And there was none. Listen, we thought it all out completely. We really did, because I'm one of those. I went out one night and sat at the cemetery, believe it or not, for 2.5 hours, because they had sightings in the area.
Uh-huh.
And this was last year. And I says, I'm going to see one of them, so help me God. That's when they had the sightings in Sonora, Twain Harte.
Right.
And I says, I know. I'm going to go watch. And I sat out and watched, because I believe in them, and nobody else, they think I'm crazy.
No way.
And I says, I haven't seen one of them, and damn it, I'm going to see one of them if I have to travel to Santa Cruz in the next report. Oh, but my dad used to see him every once in a while when he worked at Hetchy Waterline. And friends of mine own a ranch out of Knight's Ferry, and he's seen him before, too.
Uh-huh.
And he says he's even just given up even saying anything to people about it, because he says they think you're crazy. They don't believe you. I said, I don't care. They think I'm crazy or not.
Well, we get lots of calls, so they're being seen all over.
Yeah. Have you had any more in this area?
Not this evening, no.
Well, I wonder, because usually the sheriff's office gets calls after calls after calls. And one night I went all the way on Milne's Road about this time one night. I was listening to my police radio. And they got a sighting out on Milne's Road, which is between Turlock and here, Turlock, California, and Oakdale. And I went out there, and the sheriff's car was out there. The sheriff's car did see something, but it had gone by the time I got there.
Uh-huh.
So, I think that there is definitely something.
Well, we've come to the conclusion that we're dealing with vehicles not manufactured on this planet.
Mm-hmm. It would almost have to be. I mean, they're so outmoded completely from us.
Right. Well, that's the results of a 20-year study, so it didn't come very easy.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, I kept saying, well, there's, they're going to they ask about shapes. They're going to ask about anything like that, because I'm going to report this. I said, this is, I'd seen lights, and what you think it is, but it never turns out to be anything.
Right.
And I says, but this definitely is. When it moved out over us, if it was an airplane, we'd either get the after sound as it passed, after it passed, or something, because we're right in the jet stream, because Castle Air Force Base is just 45 miles from here.
Right.
And it headed out that way. Now, whether Castle will turn it or not, I thought a couple of times calling Castle to see if they had reported anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'd be surprised how many hundreds of people will see something and not say anything.
And not say anything.
Right.
Isn't that unreal?
Right.
Well, we had one, this has been years and years and years ago. I was a child, a real young girl at the time, and we had this friend that was hitchhiking from Modesto over here in the country, and he swears up and down that one of them swooped down at him.
Oh, this happens all the time.
And followed him and scared him so bad, I think he probably ran to Oakdale.
Uh-huh.
and that 16 miles. I mean, he was petrified. He was a nervous wreck for days. Now, you don't just get that way over nothing.
That's right. Well, we sure appreciate your calling. And if we get any additional information on this, we'll get back to you and let you know.
Oh, I'd really appreciate it. I really would, even if you call Colette.
No, no.
I'll never go to bed all night. I think I'm going to go out in the country.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I want to see one of them. I want to see one. You know what I mean? I don't want to see it going over. I'd like to see it come back by.
Sort of settle down.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to just see. I'd like people to know that this is, not a figment of my imagination.
Uh-huh.